is to vote no. Vote no on the fast-track legislation for the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is also known as the TPP. Nurses oppose this fast-track authority for the TPP because we believe that this trade deal and the fast-track process poses a serious threat to our public health and our democracy. From leaked documents, this legislation also limits patient access to life-saving medications, exposes Americans to unsafe food, threatens our public health campaigns and services, nullifies environmental health protections, and a threat to our democracy and national sovereignty. Now we will hear from some of our nurses to speak on these issues.
This is Michael Jackson.
Thank you. My name is Michael Jackson. I too am a nurse from NNU. I'm an emergency room nurse.
All right,
with
thank
some
you.
of these other nurses here too as well. And I don't like the fact that they're even considering of doing a secret deal behind our backs.
Yeah.
That is not, just like our sign says, with the secrecy is not a democracy.
Yes.
We need input into any type of legislation that is being passed. And this is not the first time we've been here to visit Susan Davis.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's time for her to get on board and get on side of her constituents in the community.
Yes.
And it's time for her to get on the side of people who do the work.
Yeah.
It's time for her to get on side of the public. It's time to get on side of her employers. We are her employers.
Yes.
For her to do her job.
Yeah.
And guess what? When we go in there, it's time for her evaluation. You know how you get that yearly eval?
Yeah.
It's her turn. It's her turn to get some balanced feedback. Well, I know we've all heard that balanced feedback bullshit before. Well, it's time for her to get it this time.
Yeah. Give her her health assessment.
Exactly. It's time. It's her time. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out here and joining with us because we're all in this together.
Yep.
So we'll really appreciate you all coming out and supporting. And turn it over to another nurse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And in the past, what we've always looked to is the manufacturing jobs, right? They're always an in, and you can grow and create and learn a skill set, right? And that was always the ability. I was lucky, right? I was able to do that. But now you're starting to see a lot of these manufacturing jobs.
And she's still in Washington, so unfortunately can't be here to speak with you. I know many of you have been here before at different times, so thank you for coming and certainly appreciate your passion for this. The Congresswoman's view at this point hasn't changed from the last time you've come in. We still don't know when the vote's going to happen. We still don't know what's going to get voted on. The Senate passed something which probably won't come forward the same way in the House. The process is still unfolding. As far as where she is on these issues in general, I think she agrees with many of you when you say the status quo is broken, the system's broken, workers aren't getting a fair shot now, and what she wants to do is make that better. Now, is this going to make it better? I think we know your view on this one, but until she sees that final version, until she sees what she's actually being asked to vote on, and this is just, of course, the TPA, not TPP, which isn't done. She's not gonna come out and say which way she's gonna vote because, to be honest, she hasn't read what they're doing. And so that's her position.
How does she feel about the $700 million cuts to Medicare?
Well, I mean, that's in the transition assistance piece, which was part of the Senate bill, which probably won't move as part of the House bill if it comes forward. And that's kind of an example of, obviously she's very concerned about it. It's an extension of the Medicare cuts that are in the sequestration. Obviously the concerns of what that would do to health care, also the precedent it sets for using Medicare cuts for other things and pay for other priorities when we know that's something we should be protecting. But as far as how that's moving, I mean, it's very much up in the air. We don't know how the House leadership is going to move that, if they're going to move it, if they don't move it, how it gets factored in the Senate. So it's, procedurally and all those things, it's hard to really say because we just don't know at this point.
Just by the mere mention of taking away a benefit of people like my partner right here that helped build this country is appalling. To even think that she would say, well, I want to wait to see what the rest looks like. Why even wait? Why even wait?
Well,
She should stand up for her constituents. We hired her to do the job. And we've been here multiple times. I've been here multiple times to her office. Nurses, we talk to the patients. We talk to the people. We talk to our family members.
Told you so. You know,
We don't want to do that. We want to be able
no,
to say,
thank you, we
you know,
don't.
thank you, Susan Davis, for showing leadership, for being a strong woman that stood up to what's happening.
To the
you know,
corporate
with
agenda.
This corporate agenda, these international, multinational corporations that are trying to drive this, they're trying to drive Obama and drive this whole issue. And we're really counting on her to stand up, be a strong woman, and lead on this issue. So that is really what we're, you know, leaving with you today. These are yet another hefty stack of letters and postcards from constituents. I know that hundreds and hundreds have been dropped off. So that is for the Congresswoman, and